Hey crafty friends, it's Mel. So here is my design team project number 1 for the month of, geez, now we're in May. Every time I do these, I feel like how fast this year is going. Anyway, don't mind my picture frame that's not quite done, and yes, that says best dad ever, so I obviously have to change that, and there's a little 4x6 sticker on there I gotta take off. But we are in my living room on my little half moon table, and I just wanted to share my project I just made. So I needed to make this design team, by the way, has been working out really well. It just seems like there's always a project to make, whether it's Mother's Day. Last time I had to make a sympathy card, and MyScrapChick has everything to do so. So it's really nice to have their cut files. Talia says hello. It's really nice to have MyScrapChick's cut files handy because there's so much you can do with them. So this is one of their newer files, and I will link it below, and this is a little teacup card, and I love the little cascading teacups. I'm just going to zoom in. The little cascading teacups. And this one came out so cute. So they have it in a fancier way in the, I guess in the description. In the description they have like pretty pattern paper, so you could also do it that way. But I thought, what a great excuse to use my new, I brought these down to show you. Let me zoom out to show you. Okay, Ty, she wants to show her mints. They saw them, thank you. This is the Peachy Keen set that I got, and I thought, oh, this would be like a great time to use that, and I thought that they would go really well for this card. So I will show you a closer view of this card, but I just want to show you really quickly. Here's kind of how I did it. This is just my mat, and I just put I chose 4 different, and I tried to pick a subtle, yet I didn't want it to just be solid. So I wanted it to be a pattern paper, but I also wanted it to be one, thank you honey, I also wanted it to be one that I can stamp a face on, and you still kind of make it out what it is. And then here's my other mat, and I just chose a paper that I had to do the matching envelope. Another great thing about MyScrapChick is they think of everything, and they give you like all the accessories in the cut file. So again, I will link this below, but I just kind of want to show you some details of the card and what I did with it. But let me just get this camera right, or try to anyway. Talia's behind me showing you shelves. Put that down. That was just a shelf I got at Hobby Lobby that I chose the other one instead, so I gotta take it back. So anyway, here is my card, and I just want to kind of give you a close-up view of the cute little faces. So I think it did okay with the pattern paper, and I just used my white gel pen. Talia, be quiet for a minute. I just used my white gel pen to kind of show and highlight the eyes on there, and then I kept the eyes the color that they are. So in the top one, when I did the green, I just varied the faces. I just kind of stamped them off to the side so they fit, because this was kind of like a larger stamp set. But I thought they came out cute. This one looks like she's looking up. This one looks like he's looking up. He's looking down. So it kind of like worked out well. So those were the colors that I chose. Then I cut out all the rims, and they all cut out actually in this yellow paper, but I wanted it to stand out a little more, so I just went over it with one of my Copic markers on 1, 2, 3, 4 of the tops, and then this bottom little doily, we'll call it, because it cuts out that piece. And I put some stitch lines in it, and I used the old Stampin' Up set. I think it's like Tiny Sentiments or something like that. And I just masked off and made it say Happy here and Mother's Day on the side. Because my mom loves tea, and I thought this would be a good card for her, and I need to make her. I got so many Mother's Day cards to make for my mom and my Nani and my in-laws, so this will be good to get started early. So, well, it's not really that early. It's next weekend, right? So then this is just a ribbon that I thought would look cute, like a cute little tea tag, and I should have, so this learned from my mistake. I should have just used my ATG gun, but at first I used a little bit of my glue pen, and you can kind of see it through, which I didn't really like that, so I may go back in, and my anal self probably will, and go back in and fix it, but for right now it's okay. And then they even gave this little attachment for this little tiny tea bag with a little heart on it, and I just used my tiny attacher to staple it, so then it looks like it's coming out of the tea. And I didn't use any dimensionals on this card, which shocked me because I normally do. And I just love shaped cards. I think they're so cute and different. So there's the little doily, there's the little bottom, and then it opens up. It even cuts you out this insert page, and then I just stamped Happy Mother's Day, and I just happen to have a little exclamation point stamp on my desk. So I'm going to write a little message in there, and then I just hand wrote on the back, made by Mel, 2017. So that stands up, and then it even cuts out. Just want to show you too. I made a matching envelope, just stamped the little eyes on there and colored her in, and then used an old die cut I had and stamped Happy Mother's Day on there. And this was just actually a Christmas paper pad, but I was trying to find a paper pad that had like a good weight for the envelope, because this one's kind of thick, and I didn't want it to be solid like my paper tray ink. And I could have just used 8.5 by 11 because it was sized just right for that. But again, for MyScrapChick, this envelope happens to come in this file, and this card fits perfectly in here. Whoops, let me move it back to show you. The card fits perfectly in here, but I believe this is an A2 size card. So even if you're not quite cutting out, you know, if you're not going to be using this all the time, which is your card, you can use your cut file for the envelope and use it for, you know, standard cards, or cut out a bunch ahead of time. Even if you just want to use, shh. Sorry guys, the kid is everywhere. Maya's at school, that's why you don't hear her. But you can cut out the card and have a bunch cut out ahead of time for another card for if you have A2 size. So that way you don't have to worry about using your punch board. But this cut and scored everything on my Cricut Explorer. Cricut Explorer Air. So that was really nice to have a matching envelope, and that fits in there. And now that one's ready to go for my mom. Now I got to do one for Nani and my mother-in-law and my sisters. So I better get at it. So thank you guys for watching, and I will link everything below. And go head over and check out MyScrapChick. Thanks for watching. Bye.